What's up, everybody? Please like and subscribe, comment, and share on our videos. Grasshopper and the Bear. We appreciate it so much.
Yeah, how you doing?
Hassan Oseni, see no changes. What's up, my boy? What's up?
Good. Good to see you again.
You too.
Welcome back. Welcome back.
Thank you.
You're welcome. How have you been?
I'm doing good. You know, it's good weather. It's not snowing, so it's good.
That's good, man. So we haven't talked in a long time. What I mean, you got a fight coming up. Is that July 9th?
The fight is July 8th. It's on Lion Fights. It's for the I believe it's for like the North American heavyweight title. I believe so.
Wow.
Hopefully nothing changes because hopefully it still remains the same. But so far I know I'm fighting for a title. So yes.
It's a Muay Thai title?
Yes, the Muay Thai title, yes.
All right. Hell yeah, man. I'm looking forward to watching that. Do you know who's the opponent?
So the person I'm fighting is Warren Thompson. He used to be a Glory fighter. I fought on a couple of Glory shows, and it's kind of amazing I'm fighting him because I remember when I was still like in the amateur rankings, then I used to watch him fight on Glory, right? So this like it's really exciting to be fighting, you know, someone I used to watch before. So yeah,
that's what's up. So it's been a while since we got caught up. You know, first of all, good luck on your fight coming up. I'm sure you're going to win via knockout again. I got to say that because I'm a big fan. So I know that's how it's going to go down. But I'm sure you spent a lot of time getting prepared. You've been training for a long time because I know you haven't fought in a while because you had the knockout in Lion Fight. That was like a year ago or so. And then I know you fought a pro boxing fight. I think you got a knockout there.
I had another fight again, actually in March, in England. It didn't really go so well because I had a couple of issues that happened. Like I suffered a cracked fracture. My training wasn't so good. I cut so much weight. Just a lot of things were wrong. You know, it's like, you know, I feel like I've reached a certain point I've not actually, like, I won't say reach a certain point, but you know, like when you're in that pro level, when you're pro, you have a style that works for you and you try to change that style, it becomes a problem. It's just like the saying, if something is not broken, why fix it, right?
Sure.
So, you know, like I've always been a big believer of the Dutch style. You know, I've trained in Mike's gym, always gone to Holland to train. So I go to England now, went to a team which I was not really familiar with. And I tried to adapt more of a boxing style, which was not my style. And just quick to the fight, my ligament in my ankle snapped and it chipped out bones in my leg.
So, which ligament was it? It was your leg, you said?
Well, it was my ankle.
Your ankle. Okay.
Yeah. So what happened was the ligament chipped. I couldn't really pull weight on the leg. I couldn't really stand. And, you know, I was told, you know, you need to pull out from the fight. You shouldn't fight. You know, that's for my team in Canada. They told me, like, you know, like, you're not going to be 100%. I don't think it's a good idea. And my dad lives in England too. And, you know, he didn't feel comfortable with the fight. He's like, you know, you're injured. There's no reason to fight. So I go back to the team I was training with in England and told them, you know, I got injured. And they're like, don't worry, it's fine. Just tape up your leg. You'll do good. You know, so took that fight, went in first round, you know, threw a jab and I fell. Like I fell into my punch and I got hit because I cut so much weight. I came here at 198. My opponent came here at 205. So, you know, he just touched me a little bit and I just fell. And that has never happened to me in my life.
Okay.
The ref stopped it after a while because he noticed my leg wasn't good. But in a way, you know, I embraced that loss just like I embrace every win because I felt like I needed that loss. It taught me a lot, right? Because at the end of the day, like I watched some of my best fighters in the world, like Badr Hari, Tyrone Spong, Mervimano. They've all taken losses, but it never stopped them from doing what they do, right?
Sure.
It's, like my trainer said, sometimes you have to put your pride and ego aside. And it was a lesson that I felt like I needed to grow. So I came back to Canada. I was in a cast for a while on crutches. I'm in training hard. I feel good again, you know. So it's just, you know, if I could tell anyone anything, like anybody who wants to be a fighter or a lesson is, keep doing what works for you, and always stick with the people who want the best for you.
Okay.
Could be your family, could be your trainer, but always have that positive mindset.
Definitely commend you for walking away from that and allowing, you know, making the decision for it to build you up as opposed to tear it down. That's something that's very rare. You know, a lot of times people so quick to flock to the negativity of something. So for you to be able to, like you said, to take that and to grow from it and to learn from it is a good thing. So you were initially, when you started telling us about it, you were saying that if it's not fixed, if it's not broken, then don't fix it. So that means pretty much sticking to what you know works, you know, to continue to get the same results, you think?
Yeah, you know, like when I had my first pro boxing fight, which I believe you guys knew about, I stick to my Dutch style. Like that, was coming forward and just, you know, like throwing, you know, like throwing heavy punches and fighting smart, right? Staying relaxed.
You got dropped, right? I remember in the first round, you got knocked down, right? And then you got back up and knocked him out.
Yeah, I was, because that was the second round. I got dropped.
I was like, no, that's crazy. I was like, oh, but you still look, when you got up, you seem like you're okay.
I was laughing because, you know, I was like, you know what? Okay, I got dropped. And the first thing to do was, you know, like my style is I always stay in my shell. I shell up. And I was like, I'm just going to take everything he throws at me. And I know that everything I'm going to throw is going to be with serious power, right? And I just caught him with that cross hook. But, you know, the different things, when I went into boxing, like, no disrespect to boxers, I love boxing. I start off with boxing, is a good sport. But when you compare boxing to kickboxing or MMA, it's two different sports, right? It's way two different sports. And I always tell people with this, the reason why boxing is always going to get credit is because there's so much money in boxing, right? And we live in a society where there's money, that's what's going to flourish, right? But when you talk of fighting, you look at the Dutch style kickboxing, look at Muay Thai, it's a very brutal sport. It's very unforgiving. But when I started training boxing, they changed my style. They're like, oh, you need to always use the jab. You need to move your head, do this. And I started doing that. And it kind of threw me off my game, you know, because I'm used to, you know, staying in my shell, relax, taking a couple of hits and giving heavy hits. Unlike, you know, they say boxing, you don't want to get hits. You want to move. But, you know, it's a contact sport. You know, you have to get hit. But the thing is, when you get hit is how you react when you get hit. And that's why in boxing, when I got dropped, I was laughing. I was like, okay, it's game time. Because, you know, when I was ever since I've been training in Mike's gym in Netherlands, I remember number one thing is, it's how you're going to stand the fire that matters. It's how the fight is going to end. So, but, you know, boxing is a whole different mindset. It's more, I don't know, you know, you guys train in martial arts, you train in Muay Thai, kickboxing. To me, it's a whole different energy. It's a whole different environment. When you train, like, especially like the Dutch style kickboxing, is a whole different vibe compared to boxing. To me, that's how I feel. I don't know how other people feel, but to me, I feel
definitely. I've trained in just boxing gyms, several, and spent a lot of time sparring in just boxing gyms, being around boxers. And it's a lot of fun, but it's a different environment. The Dutch kickboxing and the Muay Thai gym, also very different from each other and very different than boxing, different mentality, different techniques, obviously, and a different mindset. I think, and I love all of them. I gotta say Dutch kickboxing, probably my favorite, but I really, if you use them, if you train them correctly and take what you need from each one and not get confused, they can, like, boxing can help your kickboxing and vice versa. But I think talking about the styles and which style you used in your pro boxing fight and how you got knocked down and then you switched to maybe your Dutch kickboxing mentality, maybe after you got knocked down and then you knocked the guy out. Have you seen any of Tyrone Spong's boxing matches? He looks like he maintains more of his Dutch kickboxing shell and his power punching style, and he gets a lot of knockouts in his pro boxing career. He does train in a boxing gym with like a Cuban coach or Puerto Rican coach, but Coach Pedro Diaz, but he looks like he still keeps the same mindset of his Dutch kickboxing training.
He does, you know, like I've watched Tyrone Spong's a lot of his boxing fights. A big guy I watched who was a Dutch kickboxer, Nicky Holskin.
I'm a big fan. Yeah.
He fought Callum Smith, and Callum Smith is like is a world-class boxer. He fought like Canelo fought him, right?
I saw that fight. Yeah, Nicky Holtz and Callum Smith.
And Nick Holskin was just in that show. And Callum Smith had no answer for him. But, you know, the experience of Callum Smith, he won by points, but it just shows that, like I said earlier, you know, if something's not broken, why change it? Why fix it, right? Or change it, right? Nick Holskin maintained that Dutch style. And I feel like the mistake I made, you know, but I won't say it's a mistake. The learning process was I changed the style I was that made me the fighter I was since my amateur days, right? I changed it, and, you know, plus my injury, everything affected me. But, you know, like, that's the past. Right now, I'm more focused on my lion fights. You know, like, I'm in a good place right now. That's why I can
you're about to kick some ass. I can tell.
Yeah,
I can see it.
I'm happy with the opponent I'm about to fight. He's a big, strong dude. He's coming out to fight. And I feel right now that's what I need. You know, like, training's been going good. Sparring's been going good. Just everything, you know, I'll say I'm so much in love with the sport. You know, and I'm excited and I'm happy. And, you know, the goal is to win this title and to fight more bigger names. That's my goal.
Okay. Hey, definitely getting there. Hassan, tell me about the Chris Trammell fight, where you got him with a first round knockout, but they didn't give you the title because of the issues with your weight. How did you feel about that? Of course, I'm sure you felt good about the victory, but you didn't get what, in my opinion anyway, what you deserve because of something with your weight. Tell me about that fight and how you felt about that outcome.
I was off by just 2 pounds. And, you know, I tell people this. In that division, I'm an uncrowned champion. I'm still the champion in that division. I don't have the belt. It doesn't change anything to me. But it's just, I'm a champion who didn't just get the belt because of my weight. I respect the decision of not giving me the belt, because at the end of the day, as a fighter, you need to be professional. You need to make the weight cuts. You need to do everything. So me not getting the belt, that's the penalty. That's why I need. That's the price I have to pay. You know. So, but at the end of the day, I'm still a champion in that division. Regardless, I'm crowned. I don't have the belt, but it just taught me a bigger lesson. Like, again, I took the fight in 5 weeks. I was 250 pounds. I came down to 190, 92, right? So it was a good fight. It was exciting. You know, I respect Chris Trammell. Like, he's had good fights. You know, like he's a good name who fought out in Thailand, China, and things like that, right? So to me, it was just, you know, it's just something I can look back and tell my kids, you know, when they're big, and my kids, that this is what I did. And like I said, even with my losses too, I embraced the win, I embraced the losses, I embraced everything. It's part of the journey, right? It's part of the journey.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
It's kind of like the last Charles Oliveira, Justin Gaethje fight in the UFC. Charles Oliveira missed weight. Apparently the scale someone messed with the scale. So
yeah,
he couldn't win the title, but he won the fight, obviously. And but everyone knows he's the champ. I mean, to everyone's eyes, he's the champ, even though he doesn't have the belt, you know?
Exactly. You know, like, to me, a belt is just the bonus, right? Belts don't change anything. You know, a champion it's how, to me, what makes a champion is how you carry yourself.
And collect bodies.
Exactly. You know, it's the heart you put in the fight that makes a champion, right? It's what you're willing to dish out there that makes a champ. And to me, regardless, like I just say, I'm the champion of that division in the belt I won. It's just I didn't get the belt, but it doesn't change anything to me. You know.
Absolutely, for sure.
Yeah,
for sure. What now? We spoke a little earlier, and you were saying if it's not broke, don't fix it. Would you say the way that you performed in the fight with Chris Trammell and the fight that you participated in with Luke Spicer, would you say that you were using the same recipe in terms of for your greatness and how you knocked both those guys out, or would you say that you added a couple of extra ingredients to the recipe since the fight with Luke Spicer versus Chris Trammell?
I would say it's the same. It's the same thing. There was no change. There was no change at all. It's the same way I've been training, the same mindset. There was nothing. It was just the same thing. But the thing is this: when you fight, it's the same tactic I use, same training. But you know, when you fight different fighters, you know, they come in different body size, they come in different shapes. So you have to adjust little things, right? So it's the same tactic, like the same training, everything. It's just now when you fight a guy who's a little bit taller, there's a little things you need to adjust. But you don't change your training style, you don't change your style. It's just that you change how you approach, how you strike now. That's it. Because when you strike someone who's way taller,
sure,
you have to be on the inside most of the time. And definitely you're going to have to take more. If it's a guy who's about 6'4", 5'11", definitely you're going to take a little bit more assault from the guy in terms of knees. But now you train on how, you get hit with that knee to the body, you're coming with a cross. Or you get kicked, you're coming with a cross hook. It's just little things change. But it's the same training mindset, same style, nothing changes. Yeah.
Okay. Sounds good.
How was it training in England? Like, I remember about a year ago you was over there or less. How did you end up going to England to train? I think you were at Bad Company and some other gyms. How was that? That looked pretty cool that you was over there training.
Yeah, I went to Bad Company. I think that was in 2018. I trained down there. It was good training. Like that's Liam Harrison's gym. I trained with Andy. Then I went to England last year. I trained in Four Corners gym.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, Four Corners is really good. They have a lot of John is really good. A lot of fighters as well. Now, like after my boxing fight, I was like, okay, I want to go into boxing now. So I was like, I rather go to the home of, like England is big with boxing, right? So I was like, I'm going to go there. So I went to Four, and I was training a little boxing, but it was more, there were a lot of guys who did a lot of kickboxing, MMA, and I think they liked my style, right? So I was more focused on the kickboxing there, but my heart was really in the boxing. So what happened was there was a gym close to my dad's house it was a boxing gym in Northampton. And I went there to go train one time. I was in my dad's place, and the owner of the gym, James, his son was signed with Matchroom Boxing. And I told him, oh, I had to fight everything. He's like, okay, come train here, and we'll try and get you a boxing fight and all that. So I was like, okay, good, because I wasn't really getting anything in Four Corners. So I went to the Team Shoebox gym there. It was good training, but it was really different, unlike how I train with my coach out here. In terms of, we didn't really do a lot of pads. Like in terms of my trainer will hold pads for me. Like we'll do about sometimes 8 rounds of pads, and we spar a lot. Here we spar sometimes 4 times a week. I know it might be too much, 3 times a week, but it depends on the sparring. Sometimes twice a week we'll go really hard. The other times is more, working more technique. You're working more your defense, and we're not going crazy, right? But when I was training out there in England, luckily I sparred a WBC champion of Europe now, Isaac Chamberlain. He fought Lorenzo Colli. I had some sparring rounds with him.
How'd that go? How'd you do there?
It was really good, but then I was like, I was still a bit bigger. I didn't really cut a lot of weight. I was still about my 215 pounds. It was really good sparring. I kind of gave him some good work.
Yeah.
The thing was, with this gym, we're always sparring once a week, and that was on Sunday. And sometimes I didn't really get the high level of sparring mostly the amateur guys. It was okay. It was okay training. It was more of you're doing bag work and conditioning every day.
Oh, that can get a little boring.
Yeah. And it became too, that's where you now get the overtraining. And I think that's what happened to me, right? Because I'm not taking anything away from them. They're used to that kind of training.
Yeah, no, it's good. It's good.
Yeah, it's good, but I'm used to my own system kind of training too, right? Whereby my training was when I was in Mike's gym, was drills, sometimes and sparring. Then when you have a fight come up, you're doing pads, heavy pads, and it was good, but it was different. And, it was a good experience. I experienced it. And in a way, I know what works for me as a fighter. I know what I need, what caters to me. So, yeah.
Looking at your training, how you developed as a fighter, having that foundation, boxing, and then Muay Thai. If you were to look at yourself, how would you say that you've grown from the time that you've had your first professional fight to what you've become now?
I'll say the way I've grown so far to right now, to all my experiences will be, I know what works for me.
Okay.
Either win or lose. I know the kind of fighter I am. and I know the kind of training I need, and I know the kind of trainers I need to train with, you know. Like since day one, I'll say my style has always been to the Dutch style, right? Like that's where my style is catered to. If, for example, if you look at someone like Raymond Decker, he's a Dutch style kickboxer, right? He's never going to change that style. That's who he is, right? It's like for someone like, for example, I use my right hand to write, like since I was born. I can't just all of a sudden want to try, like I'm a grown man now, to try and use my left hand. It's gonna cause me some issues, right? So it's like that with the fighting system. I know what works for me. I know what I like. If I'm in trouble, I'm always going to switch to that style because it works good for me. So as a fighter, I believe, like, to me personally, I'm a big lover of the Dutch style, and the Dutch style is who I am as a fighter. Yeah.
However, you spoke earlier about the different styles that you trained and how you were more partial to Dutch style yourself. Why is that? And then, Hassan, are you familiar with Ilanka Elmont, by the way, Killer Queen?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, 100%. That's Lucian Cabin's he trained her really good. Like, her style is a very beautiful flow style, like aggressive. You know, like she's there to hurt someone, you know?
Yeah. She always yells, "You gotta throw bombs, Javier. You gotta throw bombs. Bombs."
Like I've one of her trainers, Lucian Cabin, is someone like, look at the people he's created. Tyrus Pong, for example. Those are people that came from him. Like, her style is so beautiful because everything she throws is 100%. Like, it's not like tap, tap, tap. It's boom, boom, boom. Right? Any little mistake you make, you're going to pay. Right? So to me, I'll say, like, that's why I'm a big lover of the Dutch style. It's just, to me, it's so beautiful to watch. And even just to train is a beautiful style.
It is. Yes, you're right, Hassan. I agree with you 100%. You got to see this some of the videos that I post when she's doing pads with me, or I'm demonstrating with her for the seminar. My leg is completely purple and blue, and that's from her. And she's like, "What happened to your leg?" When she saw the video, nothing. But it was her when she just demonstrating the low kick on me, just demonstrating. So much, but she was with me for 2 weeks, but accumulated. My whole leg was purple and black, the whole leg from her low kick.
Yeah. You know, and I think it's for you to get that experience we have for 2 weeks is really amazing, because not everyone will get that, right? It's really amazing because it just shows. Yeah, it's very life-changing, but it just shows like how much you're in love with the style and the sport. You know, it's like I tell people, to me personally, the fight game is way dangerous than drugs. I tell, because it's just the training and everything is just beautiful. The people you meet along the journey is beautiful. Don't get me wrong, there's still some nasty people you're going to meet along the way, but the good you meet is just so amazing. You know, it's really amazing.
It is, man. It is. I'm very lucky to know her. I'm just getting ready to go to Amsterdam this year and train with her and her coach. And oh man, I'm just like, I get too excited even when you guys start talking about it right now. And you, Kendrick, I get so excited, man. I want to go outside and run a few miles.
I went to the Netherlands to train at Mike's gym or Hammer's gym. I was always so anxious to go there. It was just so beautiful. Like, just the people you meet, you know, and you train, the style, and just the most important thing to me was the mindset in the gym. You know, the mindset was one thing. Like even here in Canada, I don't really get that mindset they have. Like, everyone wants to be number one, right? And it doesn't matter how good a guy is, that the next guy next to you is training, believe he's going to beat that guy. It's just that mindset that was so amazing. Like, you know, and when you're in the gym, you see guys like when I was in my gym, you see people like Badahari training, then Saki, and you see just the way they hit pads, everything was 100%. It was just so beautiful. It was so beautiful to see. And to me, I think that's what really made me the fighter I was, just going there and getting that experience. Because here in Canada, everyone goes to Thailand. Thailand is beautiful, the style, but you hardly get a lot of Canadians who are into like Muay Thai who go to Netherlands to train, because the first thing you hear is they say is, oh, that style is too brutal, it's too hectic, it's not good for the head. I'm like, yeah, but they say it's not good for the head. Yeah, they're not trying to kill you. It's for people who are serious about their career, right? Because you get guys in the UFC too who train the Dutch style, because it's a style that it's not just about learning how to kick or punch. It's the mentality behind it, right? It's just that mentality, the encouragement it gives you and gives you as a team around. So yeah.
You know what's funny? I don't know how many people know this, but the people who are really successful, some people that are very successful in the UFC, like TJ Dillashaw, Henry Cejudo, Henry Cejudo, years ago, he hired Paul Lamach from Amsterdam to come live with them, I think, in Southern California, and train him and his whole team. It looked like he stayed with them for a long time. So that Paul Lamach he trained so many Dutch kickboxing fighters. He's a legendary coach, and he's got all the secrets, man. So Henry Cejudo had his team, his MMA team, train and learn from him. And and his striking. Henry Cejudo was a wrestler first, Olympic wrestler, gold medalist, but his striking got so good, and it's still so good. But yeah, there's always like an interesting story behind these guys who are very successful. It's like my coach always says, Coach Ilanka says, if you know, like if you know the right people, you know what's up.
That's true, because like you look at even like, for example, Henry Hoof, who is out in Miami, Florida.
Yeah.
Good. I trained with him a couple of years ago. He did a seminar in my old gym I was, and it was just like, that was even before I went to Netherlands to train. I was still young then, and that's one thing that made me fall in love with the style. It's just the low kicks alone were so painful, and the hand combinations into the kick was just so beautiful to watch. And you're right, a lot of like some of these UFC guys who fight in the UFC or MMA, they cater to the Dutch style because of their hands into low kick. It's just the explosiveness of the style that is so beautiful to see, But like, don't get me wrong, Muay Thai is a beautiful art. Like I train with Simon Marcos.
I love Muay Thai. I love Muay Thai too.
Muay Thai is so, like I train spar with Simon Marcos. Train a lot of good high level Thai guys out here in Canada. It's a beautiful style. Like especially like the clinch is so amazing. So yeah.
Hassan, I remember when we spoke before, you were saying at the end of the day, when it all comes down to it, as much as you love the Muay Thai, that in the end, you like to be a police officer. Is that something that still stands, or has that changed?
No, 100%.
Okay, I was going to say, because we established that you have a heart for people, to help people. So
yeah, that still stands 100%, because I'm looking at about applying sometime later this year. I'm just thinking of doing some more volunteer work out here. Like 100%, that is never going away. That's the end goal, is people. Like I say, I love people. And one thing, like, even in the gym I train at, like I teach classes. I teach classes like Muay Thai, kickboxing classes, Muay Thai classes in the gym I'm training out of right now. And one thing I'll tell you, people who do my classes is, I tell them, this is my number one rule when you come train with me, is make sure you're smiling and you're laughing. Because you're not coming here to suffer, you're coming here to have fun.
Sure.
This is if you're sad, don't go to no therapy, come here. Because it's a happy environment. You're learning an art, Yeah, you're learning how to defend yourself too, but you're training with people that you guys are sharing the same thing. Like I've trained with guys who are from Russia. They couldn't even speak English, but when I show jab, cross is a language, right? So I tell people, number one, when you do my class, make sure you're happy, you're smiling. Even when you're warming up, you're smiling. Even when you're in pain, you're happy. It's just the mindset. So to me, I look at like, this is giving me something to share with people.
Okay.
And to me, it's going to relate into my police career too, because I want to help communities. It's not about just chasing a bad guy, but it's about being positive in the community through policing and through martial arts too. Yeah.
Definitely could use a lot more of that. That's really, really good.
Exactly.
Just a couple more questions, Hassan. We'll let you go. Appreciate you coming on today, as always, man. Just a couple more questions. Question one, Did you catch all the craziness at the Glory where there was like a, I don't know, there was like a mob and they had to shut down the fights right before Badahari went out and that craziness? And then number two, what'd you think of Josh Jauncey's performance recently? I felt like he didn't look like himself. I don't know what was wrong. I don't know if it was ring rust.
You know what? I'll say this, coming from Africa and you go watch soccer, sometimes it don't end well. There's riots, people are going crazy. It's to me, like the riot is not going to give the sport a bad name. It's just some people who are passionate about the sport and they just let their emotions get the best of them. It happens in sports, whether it's boxing, kickboxing, hockey, basketball. I just feel like as an event planner or promoter, whatever you're doing, you always have to put in account that things like that can happen. But they should have a team that are going to detect things like that happening before it goes out of hand.
Yep.
It's sports. We're always going to see riots in sports, either kickboxing, soccer, anything. It's going to be. Unfortunately, there's some rowdy people who are always going to be part of the crowds, right? But I believe, like, hopefully that never happens again in any sporting event, in Glory or anything. But, as a fan of Glory, we should just look past that. And hopefully Badahari and his opponent can get a rematch and everything will be peaceful, hopefully. And secondly, for the Jauncey fight, that was heartbreaking, I won't lie, because Jauncey is a good friend of mine. We fought on the same boxing card in Vancouver.
Yeah.
He's a nice guy. He trains hard. It was really heartbreaking seeing that because I know how tough he is. But in a way, watching him round one, the first thing I said was, this is not his style. Because Jauncey has that like kickboxing style whereby he's very relaxed. And I felt like he was really, really, this is how I feel, my opinion. I felt, I don't know, but because I did boxing, maybe he's done boxing so long that he feels bouncing around so much and moving so much is going to help him. But when you watch what Tijani did, he timed Jauncey and he caught him. I just feel like, I don't know if it's ring rust, but I just feel like, I don't know. I
saw some videos of him training at SB Gym too before that fight. I don't know if that mixed him up. I have no idea. SB Gym is a legit great gym, but
it is.
I don't know if that messed up his style or what.
When you watch his old style till now, I don't know. Like I like Jauncey is still one of my best fighters I watch still.
Me too.
Gonna be back. It's like I said, it's part of the game. But I don't know. I just feel maybe ring rust or something. I really don't know. It's I couldn't figure it out. It was that's not him. This is what I'll tell you.
No, not at all.
You watched, that was not Jauncey. That was not him at all. Because he's a tough, very technical, smart fighter. But I believe he's going to be back. He's probably sometimes as a fighter, like I said, sometimes a loss is not good, but sometimes as fighters, a loss is what's going to shape you. As what's going to make you go think and you go back to drawing board and you come back. He's going to come back stronger. And I believe he still has what it takes to be a Glory champion. 100%. 100%. He has what it takes.
Yeah, he's got the skills. He's got the pedigree. He's got the mindset. He's tough, like you said, as nails. So I'm looking forward to seeing him make a strong comeback in his next fight. I know he will.
He will, 100%. Yeah.
So the aspiration will be to finish, for as long as you're going to continue to compete, to remain, no more losses, and then to end it and then be a police officer. Do you have any other aspirations attached to that?
The thing is, I even when I'm a police officer, I'm still going to be a fighter. I'm still going to be fighting. There's a lot of cops out here who are.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. So the thing is, I don't want to lose it, and I want to work hard. I'm going to keep working hard, keep training. The goal is to win titles in win a title in Lion fights. If hopefully if I'm still in Lion fights, I continue. But if I'm not in Lion fight, the goal to me is one championship.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah, that'd be sick. Hell yeah.
Yeah, so that's the goal for me. I know people, I tell people like, if you look at me, I'm not a natural heavyweight. I'm 5'11", but I believe in my heart. I don't care what anyone says. Anyone can say anything. I believe I have what it takes to be a heavyweight champion. Like I believe I have that skill. I'm still growing. Like I was telling Mr. Xavier, I'm still planning on going down to the Netherlands again. Hopefully sometime this year or next year, stay a couple of months. And, like if you want to be a lion, you have to train with lions. Right. And I really want to mingle with like some heavyweights out there and train with them and keep growing myself. Because one thing I can promise you is Hassan Oseni is going to be a big name. That's all I can tell you.
Sure. Oh, yeah.
That's where my heart is. And, it's like, you say a lion hungry for food. It doesn't sit down, do nothing. It goes out there and chase. And that's what's in my heart right now. I still have more years to give, to show, to entertain people and to motivate people to do what they want to do. But one thing I know is I'm going to be a heavyweight champion. And the goal is, if it's not in lion fights, it's going to be on a big promotion like one. And that's for sure.
That one where you had the knockout.
Yeah.
I just tell you're a champion material, man. Just the way you carried yourself in the ring and the way it's going to happen. You're destined to be champion, brother. You got the style, you got the power, you got the mindset. So looking forward to seeing what happens next for you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Hassan, you got some words of wisdom for us?
Oh man, it's the same thing I keep saying every time, and I live by that word. Is you just gotta keep believing in yourself. Love life, love the people around you that love you. But the most important thing is believing in yourself. And it might not work today. Never give up. Just keep pushing. Keep pushing. Sure. Believe in yourself and keep smiling. That's all I'll say. Just keep smiling, believing, and just keep the people around you. Appreciate the people who love you around you, who want to see you do good. But the most important thing is just believe in yourself.
Believe in yourself. Hell yeah.
Hassan,
so the fight next, your fight coming up again, just to remind the viewers, is July 8th, Lion Fight.
Yep, you can watch it on, I think it's the Fights TV, FITE, yeah.
It's going to be a Fight TV, FITE, Fight TV app, and it's going to be a Muay Thai heavyweight title.
Yes, in Boston.
As long as nothing changes, you said, as long as things happen, but hopefully not this time.
But hopefully not this time. Like I said, I'm ready. I'm in a good state of mind. I just want to go have fun. And, hopefully you see some knockouts. I don't go out looking for the knockout. If it comes, it comes. But one thing I'm going to say is every shot I throw is going to be not 100%, but 1,000%. Yeah.
Hell yeah, man. That sounds good. Where can people get a hold of you, either on YouTube or social media? Do you have any you can leave for us?
Yeah, you can check me on YouTube, Hassan Oseni, on Instagram, Hassan Oseni or Hazi Babzi. You can check me on Facebook, which is Hasi Babs. And yeah, that's about it.
Sounds good. Man, we appreciate you coming on, man. This is the bomb, man. We appreciate you. We're gonna see you soon.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right. You have a good one.
Thank you. Take care, guys.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you, Hassan.
Too.
Take care.
Bless.